So a lot of people were complaining that Taylor Swift's new album is nothing like old Taylor Swift. I happen to disagree very much. If you haven't watched my album review yet, you really should. I'll have a link to it at the end of this video and a link in the description. But guys, if you listen to the subject material, it's still very much the same Taylor Swift we know and love. She's still talking about the same old things. Boyfriends, exes, and bullies. It's just that now the bullies happen to be the mainstream media and other singers, rather than small town thugs. What has changed a little bit is her musical style, but even still, she's left us one important clue that the old Taylor Swift is still alive. When a pop artist writes a song, they typically will put their main idea or their theme into the chorus. They'll put the story that leads up to it in the verses, they'll look at things from a slightly different perspective in the bridges, and they'll use the pre-choruses to kind of transition from the concrete storytelling of the verse into the abstract themes of the chorus. So when you want to know what a song is about, look at the chorus first, and it'll show you the lens that you should look at everything else through. Before Taylor Swift dropped this album, and credit for figuring this out goes to my good friend Friedemann over at Holistic Songwriting, the whole songwriting style in pop music was to have the verses be a little bit quiet, a little bit building in energy, kind of this underlying tension that was about to explode, get a little bit more intense in the pre-chorus, and then there's like this big drop and all of a sudden we go crazy in the choruses. But particularly with 6 songs on this album, she does kind of the opposite. The verses have more energy and tension, and it's the choruses that all of a sudden become a lot smoother, a lot more delicate, and a little bit more relaxed. Instead of intense rhythms that just keep pounding at you, dum bum 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 bum, she instead will get a little bit more smooth and anthemic, and it'll sound like she's singing a ballad like in Wildest Dreams. The songs where she does this or gets really close to doing this are Delicate, Dress, King of My Heart, Gorgeous, a little bit in Look What You Made Me Do, and the best example of all, Ready For It. So keep in mind, the first piece of evidence that old Taylor Swift is not dead is the fact that she's still singing about the same topics as she always has. But as even better evidence, look at Ready For It, her second single, her third most popular song on Spotify right now, and the focus of an epic music video. So obviously a song that she really cares about, and one that we've been seeing shown in a lot of videos where she goes to perform on TV shows. Listen to the verse.
He was a killer, first time that I saw him. Wonder how many girls he had loved and left haunted.
And now listen to the chorus.
In my dreams, you should see the things we do.
The verse is telling the story of a woman who wants what she's gonna get, she's intense, she's gonna go and get this guy, and she's not gonna let anything stop her. She particularly wants guys who are gonna be a challenge for her, and that she can, you know, wildly seduce or something like that. She uses crime metaphors the whole lot. Remind you of anything? Basically the entire hype around this album, particularly with songs like Look What You Made Me Do, where she's like this tough person who's gonna come and get whatever she wants. But when we get into the chorus, the place where artists put their true themes, she all of a sudden becomes a lot more like old Taylor Swift. All of a sudden it becomes so much more gentle and smooth and so much more like old Taylor Swift. I think the best line, in the middle of the night in my dreams. The verses are her posing as somebody. The chorus is her being herself, where she reveals her dreams. And I feel like the song is in a way a metaphor for the entire album, where on the surface it's very intense and it's very combative and aggressive, but then we get into the heart of some of these tracks, like Gorgeous or King of My Heart or New Year's Day, and it's a whole lot more like the chorus of Ready For It. Remember that Ready For It is the first song on this album, so it's like a prologue or a menu of what is coming up over the course of the rest of this album. And if Ready For It does show us what's coming up over the course of this album, it's telling us that at first things will seem a little bit prickly, but that there is a soft, warm interior. Very much like the old Taylor Swift we know, somebody who's not afraid of other people, who's gonna do what she thinks is best, and isn't gonna let anybody stop her. Hey guys, that's my theory of why old Taylor Swift is not dead, and that's not the only evidence that there is. I encourage you, go check out my review of Taylor Swift's new album, Reputation. It's a really interesting video, I think, because it's a really interesting album. If you like Taylor Swift, you'll like that review, and let me know what Taylor Swift song I should explain next. Thanks for watching, everybody. Talk to you later.